C'est cool?
C'est cool, c'est cool.
C'est cool.
C'est cool.
C'est cool.
C'est so cool.
C'est cool.
C'est cool. C'est cool.
We still had one big enemy, and that was the weather.
I don't think anyone has ever tried it by that time.
He told us, fuck guys, I'm really hurt, help me, my shoulder's out.
He actually went down hard a couple of times.
We're in Chatel at the moment. It's in France, and it's our second shooting location for our movie. For this one we had quite a dedicated idea. We wanted to bring winter mountain biking to the next level. It was inspired by one of our protagonists, Vinny T. He's kind of like the master of winter riding at the moment. And he inspired me to go to his hometown.
Roll camera and drop in 3, 2, 1, drop in.
So what we're trying here is combining downhill mountain biking and big mountain freeriding in a winter situation. This really is a difficult one for us.
So when you're shooting in a very special location like this, you have to prepare in a way that doesn't limit you too much, but also gives you the freedom to shoot on a very high level. Yeah.
So today we did some tests with the gimbal, and we started out with jumping with a smaller camera, but I felt it was complicated to do the framing, and I felt comfortable with the jump, and so we decided to go with the bigger camera. So good of a teamwork with like having 3 people at the same time controlling one camera, one just doing the focus and one operating the camera, and I just do the timing with the action. And I think the shots turn out really good.
But still, with all the support we had, best riders, best team, best situation, like best resort actually, we still had one big enemy, and that was the weather, and that's just something you can't fight. Talking about winter riding, and especially about the things that we want to do, weather is pretty much the crucial factor here. The conditions need to be just perfect, it needs to be packed, it needs to be super hard. We came here for location visit, and it was perfect weather for us. We were pretty positive. We thought, yes, this is gonna be it. On the day we arrived, we already knew, oh, this is gonna be a tough week. We'll have a lot of weather changes.
So as the cold really kills our batteries, we put some hand warmers into those bags and to keep the batteries warm and charged.
One day it was sunny. You would say it's a beautiful day, but it was just too hot, so the snow melts and the riders just can't get the speed to hit the jump. The other day it was windy, and it was just impossible to see anything because it was foggy. At some point we just had to say, well guys, we can't do it this year. Just to give you a little idea of like what the challenges are here on a mountain.
Il vient juste de me dire qu'il fallait bien que ce soit attaché derrière.
As I said, conditions need to be perfect. So we are in March at the moment. It's getting really warm during the day. So we need these morning hours that are still frozen and cold. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of fucking nowhere. Don't know what the fuck we're doing here. So that means for the team and for the athletes that we have to get up really early, meaning 4:30 wake up.
It's gonna be fun, they said. Yeah, can be creative, they said. Didn't say we have to get up at 4:30, man. Fuck that shit.
Get your stuff done, go to the resort, pick a cat, go up there, wait for the first sun rays, and the plan was always, of course, to just hit the features. We had one feature done which is called the shark fin. It's like a hip jump berm kind of feature, like it's a berm that you jump out of and land after like 10-12 meters.
We will do one more speed check.
And unfortunately this work was pretty much for nothing, because also here we had the problems that the fresh snow that just came before we arrived got compressed by the snowcat. We were relying on the old ice layer that was below that, and the new snow on top, even if it was compressed, just didn't have enough tension for a bike tire to hold up.
We had a test run on the second feature we built, but as you can see, it's still sinking in, because the problem here is it's completely new snow and it's hard to compress for the tires.
Unfortunately, we had to ditch this feature.
I think it's the 9th day in a row and we had 4:30 mornings. So yeah, I hope we still get something today. The big jump is still ready to get hit. So yeah, let's see if the conditions allow us to get some more shots.
And that's also how it happened. Then to top it all off, on our main feature, the big jump, we had a pretty cool test day. Everything looked like this is gonna be an amazing session. Vinny was super positive that this jump is gonna work out. But Mother Nature struck again, and next morning we got there again, wanted to shoot, and I think approximately 30 centimeters of fresh snow was covering the in-run, the jump, the landing. With a good amount of teamwork, we shoveled all the way, like I think 200 meters of in-run, takeoff, landing. If I would guess, I would say we shoveled away 2.5 tons of snow just to get this thing rideable, and that didn't really work out, because then clouds came in, no visibility. We had to go home and drink some beers. So of course, one other crucial condition that you have to worry about is not only the weather, but also the health of the athlete. That's just something that can always go wrong with a sport like downhill or freeride mountain biking. With days these long, it's heavy on the mind and on the body, and unfortunately also Vinny had to experience that one day. We're shooting all day long in the morning till I think midday, then had to rearrange all our equipment, had to hike up to a mountain hut with a ski tour.
We're just going for our morning session, and unfortunately the weather is not on our side. It's pretty damp and it's gonna start raining soon, but let's just see what we get.
Next morning we had a really cool downhill trail, pretty unique, and Vinny was in his element, shredding, sorry for the words, the shit out of it. Unfortunately, in like the easiest movement, Vinny just went over the bars. It looked like a pretty smooth fail, but he just right away told us, "Fuck guys, I'm really hurt, help me, my shoulder is out." Fortunately, the shoulder popped back in right away, but that was another situation where you saw that it can just easily go wrong. You really are relying on a lot of different aspects of shooting. It's the health, it's the weather, it's the gear, the team, everything really has to play together to in the end create a cool edit. We will probably have to take a chill break and see how the shoulder feels and if we can shoot the rest of the obstacles, so I hope so. So we kept pretty much all our hopes for the coming winter because we thought, man, we can definitely still buy some amazing stuff here in Chatel. And we scribbled some really cool features. Jim from Chatel really helped us out a lot. And but as it is, the next winter just didn't happen. We were really trying hard, and also the guys from Chatel really pushed it and tried to help us make this segment work. But in the end, we just had to cancel it. But as you know, Vinny, he shreds in the summer as well, and we just made this a real raw freeride edit in the end.
For Vinny's summer segment of his riding action part, we wanted to go back a little bit to the good old freeride days. We kind of missed that in the last years, and wanted to end the movie with like a real big freeride segment with like drops and skinnies and all the good stuff from back in the days. So the idea behind the trick drop was to build like a classic obstacle, and with the help of Robin, who is also like a super skilled tree climber and had all the necessary gear to set up like the wood construction, but also help us with like cable camera type camera rigging and all of this stuff. He was super helpful.
So I'm preparing a kind of a crane for the gimbal for the camera. So I have to attach 3 pulleys in the two trees, so that we can control all the setup from only this side.
We pretty much ended up with like a medium-sized drop with a super wide takeoff and also like a pretty steep landing.
It's cool to jump it. I will do a few more.
Vinny wanted to try is called a fast planned tabletop drop. He really delivered on this one, super sick. To give Vinny the chance to also perform a lot more like technical tricks, we wanted to integrate like a proper dirt-to-dirt trick jump.
Yes!
So what Vinny and Robin and the guys did was they built like a pretty steep takeoff right before that step-up landing. Vinny's plan was to do like a fast planned front flip this time.
Do it once and you stick it? Is that gonna be it? Or if it feels super safe, then you go for another one?
And after a couple of first tries, we realized that the lip wasn't quite steep enough to give Vinny the pop he needed to have enough airtime to get his bike around. So he actually went down hard a couple of times until he got the momentum right and the timing and the control for his heavy downhill bike.